How important is it to come into a big tournament with momentum like that?
Well, it's always great to win. You know, it was a great week for me. It was an honor to add my name to that tournament. It has a long list of great champions that have won the Dunlop Phoenix, and played on a great course. And you know, coming here obviously with a little bit higher expectations, I suppose. My game feels like it's in a great place. It's a very different golf course this week. Last week was very narrow, very tree-lined. This week's a little bit wider, longer golf course. But certainly, my game feels like it's in a good place, and I'm excited for this week and hopefully have a chance to win on Sunday.
Go on, Joy.
You also went up to number 2 again in the world. You also went up to number 2 in the world. Do you keep a lookout on that? And is there a number that you keep in mind for 2002?
Well, I think you always aspire to be as good as you can be. You know, I've already proved to myself that I've been good enough to be number 1, and it's something I don't think about so much now. Obviously, when I had that chance last year to get to number 1, it was sort of in the forefront of my mind. But now I'm really concentrating on trying to win tournaments, trying to win majors, and you know, the world rankings kind of take care of itself. It's just a byproduct of playing good. So. It's less of a thought right now.
Mark.
Luke, how long are you taking off, and what do you want to work on once you get into practicing?
I believe my first tournament's probably going to be LA next year. So very similar to what I did before the 2011 season. I will put the clubs away for probably a month and not touch them, and I'll have a good 6 weeks to really do some concentrated practice. I've always found it very difficult to implement any improvements in my swing during the year, just because you're playing so much. You're playing, most weeks, a week off or here. It's hard. It's more to solidify what you're working on, but it's hard to see improvement. So for me, it's going to be important again to have that length of time to really work on some stuff in my swing that I feel like will make me a more solid ball striker. More consistent, and I'll be obviously working hard and diligently on my short game again.
And one more. We have the FedEx Cup system that guarantees a finish that goes to the end, the last week. Is there an argument that the race to Dubai should have a similar thing, that it's almost recalibrated for this?
Well, certainly this week is less of a, it's a little bit more of an anticlimax than probably the European Tour would want. That's obviously a byproduct of having a money list. That's going to happen sometimes. The European Tour might want to think about adding a scenario where that doesn't happen. Incorporating either a playoff system or some other way to make sure that it does go down to the wire. I think that makes it more exciting. Obviously, I remember last year when I played, I felt like I had a target on my back, that there was quite a lot of pressure on my shoulders, and and I think it reflected within the tournament. It was kind of had some more storylines, and certainly it's something the European Tour should at least consider.
John, behind you, Mark.
Luke, sorry. You said just now you're putting your clubs away for 6 weeks, and almost in the next sentence...
4 weeks.
4 weeks. Then almost in the next sentence you said you're going to practice very hard. Can you just clarify that?
Well, I'll have about 10 or 11 weeks off between the end of this week and LA. So, I think it's important to get away from the game, to recharge, to do some other things, to, whatever you want to call it, create a bit more of an appetite for when you pick up the clubs again. So that length of period will give me the time to do that, but also have 6 weeks at the back end of those 4 weeks to really work on some stuff. So beginning of this year, I decided to play Abu Dhabi, and it gave me less time to do that. So this year, I think I'll be going more the approach of what I did in 2011.
Joy, shout it out.
As someone who has already done it, being number 1 in the world, number 1 in US, number 1 in the European Tour, what kind of an appreciation do you have for what Rory McIlroy has managed to achieve this year, following on your footsteps?
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he's had the best year of anyone. A lot of people said that winning both money titles wouldn't happen again for a long time. It only took Rory a few months to pull that feat off. As I said, Rory has a tremendous amount of talent. He's played well in the right events, and to do that, it takes a lot. It's very hard when you play both tours. You're spreading yourself quite thin amongst both the PGA and European tours, and you just have to play well in the right events, and Rory's obviously done that. So what he's done is an amazing achievement, and hats off to him. He's had a great year.
Yes, Paul.
Do you miss being number one?
I'd like to be number one, but it's not something I really concentrate on too much. Again, I'm more about thinking about winning tournaments, and that kind of stuff just takes care of itself.
Does it feel for you guys that this is the start of a Rory era, or not?
I think it certainly could go that way. I think Rory has that ability and that talent to create a pretty big lead. He's got a little bit of a gap already, and there's no reason why he can't continue to play like he has done. He's a very consistent player. He's obviously one of the best drivers of the golf ball. Hits it long and straight and sets up. Helps him really set up well on most courses, and he's certainly improved his short game a lot this year. So, I think a few of us will be trying to chase him down, and that's good for the sport. But certainly Rory has that ability to go away from us, but I'll be working hard to try and make sure that doesn't happen.
Just looking at the 2012 race to Dubai, the events that you played towards this race to Dubai, can you just give us what has been the highlight of the year for you? What has been the most disappointing event or moment for you? And which was the one shot that you will really remember from the year?
I suppose the highlight was winning, defending my title at the BMW Championship this year. Obviously Europe's biggest event, and to go back there and successfully defend that title meant a lot. I think I had not too many times in my career have I kind of put myself in a position to do that, and kind of led from the front the whole week, and was able to close out that round, in good fashion, and obviously gave me a lot of confidence. Most disappointing was probably the U.S. Open. I mean, I came in there with pretty good expectations and played awful. Just wasn't able to control my golf ball. Hit it poorly, and as a result, I missed the cut. But one good shot. Ooh. That's a tough one. I mean, maybe the 7-iron that I hit in the playoff to win Tampa. Got my first win of the year. I got off to a little bit of a slower start at the beginning of the year, and it was nice to pick up a victory and sort of get back on track. I don't know. Can't remember. But I guess in terms of highlights, I'd have to think about the Ryder Cup as well. I mean, it was great to be a part of that, comeback, and share that with the other guys. I suppose in the grand scheme of things, yes. With Tiger in there close, and at that moment, it didn't seem like it mattered that much. We were already down 10-4 at that moment, but obviously, we knew we needed to get every point possible, and without that point, and obviously without the heroics of Ian behind us, those 2 points certainly gave us the boost we needed to gain that garner, that confidence that helped us, with that momentous comeback on Sunday. I don't think we ever think like that. You know, we always have that as golfers, that hope that we can get back, but it wasn't looking good for sure.
Luke, just coming away from this tournament this time last year, how did you reassess or readjust your goals coming into this year? You know, what was a priority for you? Was it? I mean, I appreciate it would have been difficult to think, oh, I might be able to do it again. And do you have any advice for Rory now in the situation he's in? You know, can he learn possibly from your experiences or not?
Well, my goals were reasonably similar to what they are most years, and that was just to concentrate on the process of getting better. You know, that's kind of what I do most years. You know, that's my broad goal in golf, to continue to, you know, work on my game diligently and improve at all parts of it. You know, just incrementally over time. And I think if you get too wrapped up in results, that's when you can get in trouble. And I don't think Rory will fall into that trap. I'm sure he's, you know, even though he's reasonably young in age, he's got a lot of experience behind him, and he'll just do fine. But you know, obviously, you know, that was always my goal.
No.
I think you said you've got 6 weeks. You're going to do a lot of practice and working in the game, and obviously for you, assuming you can pick out, as mentioned, the ball striking. What specifically are you looking to gain in that 6 weeks? What area of your game are you really hoping to improve? Swing, or is it?
Yeah, mostly physically my swing. You know, short game, yeah, you can maintain and improve during the year, but when you're playing week in, week out, it's hard. You slip back into your playing mode of swinging and you know, controlling the golf ball that way. You know, but when you have a extended period of time, then that's when you can make some improvements in your swing.
What improvements are there for you?
For me, there's a lot. You know, I'm always trying to get the club in a little bit more of a neutral position. I tend to overuse my legs at impact. I have too much flip past impact. You know, I'm always trying to put at least amount of pressure on my left wrist. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, it might look good to you on TV, but there's always improvements to be made. Yeah.
It's exactly the same for all of us. Yeah, absolutely. I have the same problems. I think we're all done. Luke, many thanks for joining us, and good luck this week.